This is the strategy that works. We've been doing this for the last 3.5 years, and it's going to get the most levels of engagement.
This ain't this because I say it respectfully. It's time to eat up, bread like a speeder, taking it deeper, and that's how it better be. I never let the comparison get to me. I just remember the promises meant for me. I know the enemy and that he's sent for me. I keep the blood of the lamb as my centerpiece. I cannot trust in no crystals or energy. Look at the chemistry, it do not even mix chemically. Most of the tricks, they be gimmicks, they mimic the truth. It's poison and we got the remedy.
And what we're looking for is people that are hungry, wanting to hustle, wanting to break through walls, wanting to go after that legendary status.
Show me the chicken, I'm frying it. They say you ain't about it. Tell them that you finna make it, but they doubt it. But you rose like the flower. Tell me what it's like to live with superpowers. I don't know, but I'ma get it. I'ma get it. I'ma get it. I'ma get it. I just know that I'ma get it. I'ma get it. I'ma get it. I'ma get it. I'ma get it.
What's up, guys? I'm Kyle Mylan. It's Tuesday, so what does that mean? That means we're going to be talking about industrial marketing today. That's what we do every Tuesday at noon. We've been doing this for, I feel like, a long time. We're probably like 50, 60, 70, at least 70 episodes, 80 lives. So Tuesdays, we talk about industrial marketing every single week. On Thursdays at around 2:30 Central Standard Time, bring in Alex and we talk about industrial sales. That is twice a month. That's the first Thursday and the third Thursday of the month. We talk about that. For those of you that are new to the content, head over to YouTube, type in my name. There's over 1,600 videos all about industrial sales and marketing. Subscribe, turn on notifications. I would appreciate it. And share this content. If you get value out of this or have in the past, turn someone else onto this content. I'm strictly following a phrase that a smart man once said. I said, make your free content better than their paid content. So that's why we give away everything for free. 99.5% of what we do, we push out there for free to teach you guys, help you guys, give you ideas, cultivate some sort of thinking on what can we do with our marketing to stand out. How do I know it? I've been in this space for 24 years now, 15 years in manufacturing, 9 years owning this agency, MFG Tribe, where all we do every day is do marketing and sales for industrial manufacturing companies, and we do a wide range of it. Web and SEO, through social, through paid ads, through print ads, media, trade show planning, CRM automation, email marketing, everything in between, but only for industrial manufacturing companies. So now that I've gotten that pitch out, it's the last time you'll hear me pitch that. Let's jump into today's topic. Don't have a whiteboard today, which is all good. So you're just gonna have to stare at me. There's gonna be no second camera angle. Guys, I want you to put a comment in the comment section if you are creating content, thinking about creating content, seeing some things get good engagement and content. Put a comment in the comment section. I'm going to go through a couple talking points. We're going to take a break, then we'll go back to the comments. If you guys want to watch this on full replay, YouTube is better than LinkedIn because YouTube, you can easily find the videos. LinkedIn, this is going to get lost in the feed. We post a lot of content because you guys ask for it. So that is where we're at. Today is ideas for better engagement with content in industrial marketing. What does that mean? That means that I'm going to come with a little bit of experience and tell you what's working, what isn't, and what you guys can do. Talking point number one, pretend like after I said that, I went to the whiteboard and I'm going to write this down. Understand value. People, I'm going to make some assumptions here. I'm going to assume that you either are currently making content or going to start making content, and that's why you're watching this. If you're like, I'm on the fence, should I make content? Let's start with bullet point number one. You have to understand that you have so much value between your ears that you need to speak out of your mouth and share with people. Whenever I talk to people about their knowledge and the value that they provide, they're like, I could never do that. I could never do so many videos. Or even companies are like, how could you guys possibly create 130 videos over the next year for us? It's like, if you break everything that you do down and you look at all of the value that you provide, you can make a video for every single topic. So I want you content creators out there to know that you have value to add and get over the fact that you don't think that you can add it. If you are already creating content, you're like, Kyle, I just want the tips. I just want to know how can I make my content get better engagement. Still understand the value. What value can you provide to your target demographic? So you have to first understand, who am I trying to go after? Who am I trying to help? Not necessarily go after from a sales standpoint, but who am I trying to help? This content that I'm going to produce is going to help these people, this demographic. It's going to be salespeople. It's going to be ops people. It's going to be engineers. You first have to start with, who are you trying to help? Then from there, you can get in the mindset of what is it that they need help with? What do I think I can provide them with value? So we do this with our clients. Our clients sign on with us. Let's say that they're doing a full video package as part of their marketing services. Full video package with us, you're talking 120 videos over the year. Plus, they want us to write content. Let's say we're going to do 40 pieces of content a year. I have to first understand what type of value can I provide to this audience? If I'm going after engineers, is there tools that I can provide to them? Is there a white paper? Is there a book? But just do the same thing from a marketing standpoint with your content, video content. So if you're down with video, you just have to take a step back and say, what could I say on video? And maybe you're like, I don't want to do video, I want to do written. That's fine. The same rules apply. What type of piece of content can I create that I think is going to provide this target demographic with some sort of value? Not everybody is going to get value out of it. So it's either going to have to educate them or entertain them. The entertainment aspect really comes into like graphics or videos. You can't to entertain somebody with an article or with written word, it has to either be shortened to the point or it has to, you really have to hook them to read a 2,000 word piece of content that's entertaining or 1,000 words that's entertaining. You got to hook them hard to get them to read that versus watching something somewhat passive, right? They can sit there and watch it while they do other things versus reading is more active. But what can you create that's going to provide them with value? Put yourself in their shoes. So for me, from a marketing standpoint, I can look at everything that companies are doing that's not working, everything that's new, and then breaking those into categories. So for us, the way that we do our content planning is we look at marketing verticals, services that we offer, what we do every day. I only speak to things that I personally have experience doing and producing results for. So I can say we have 7 services. All those services are a video category or a content category for us. Within those services are subcategories. So I'm talking about video marketing. I can say video marketing for product manufacturing companies, video marketing for service-based manufacturing companies, video marketing for social, long-form video for YouTube. Like all of these are different categories and subcategories within the general topic. So if you're doing something like you have a service, you can think like, who is my target demographic? Oh, well, I'm doing machining. So I'm going after product design engineers or engineers, product development engineers, things like that. What are they thinking about? What can you provide them with that'll make their job easier or provide them with value to make their job more efficient? Is it design guidelines? Is it best practices? Is it how to price how much something should cost? Is it tools like that? Is it calculators? Is it breaking down how much time it should take to manufacture something? Like if you have a part that's this big and you've got this many corners and this many pieces, then it's going to take you this long to get it. So this is the type of pricing you should expect back. Could it be something like different material selections? So on the machining side or even on the plastic side, these materials are good for these things. If you run into these issues, right? So now you're doing into the problem areas. Engineers deal with problems. This isn't working from a design standpoint or from a functionality standpoint. So what I'm going to do is provide them with guidelines and tips and tricks on how to, from a functionality standpoint, make things easier. Could be for DFM, design for manufacturability. I'm going to create content that's going to make it easier for them to design something that is easily manufacturable. So when you break this down and look at it, it's like, if I'm going after engineers, that's probably the easiest because they all want to learn. They all want to be educated. There's so much information out there, and you can try and be the smartest person in the room. Like I'm going to take my 10 years of experience in this industry with working with engineered products or engineering services. I'm going to apply it to this thing that I'm doing now to help these engineers out. So you have to understand what is going to provide them with value. Operations people, commodity managers, everybody's got their own pain points. Everybody's got their own things that they want to know. You have to think, if I'm going to provide them with something, I look at it like this. I want whoever my audience is to be able to go into whoever their boss is, say or implement something that I said is going to work and it does work for them, and them to get credit for that. So I'm trying to make people better at their job. I don't need them to say, oh yeah, Kyle told me how to do it. I just need them to say, hey, I tried this thing, read about it, learned about it, tried doing this thing. It's working. I'm going to do more of it. Get the pats on your back. It doesn't need to come back to me. I could care less about that. I want you guys to be the best at what you do, and you guys should want your target demographic to be the best at what they do. So instead of creating content to engage a company to use your services, go to the personal level and the person in the job. Who is your target demographic? What are their pain points every day? What are things, commonalities that you see, frequently asked questions, issues that you see company after company after company run into? What type of content can you create around that to get them to say, this was valuable? That's what it all comes down to. That's why I said in the beginning, if you get value out of this, share it with somebody that you know, because I'm just trying to provide you with some piece of value. Even if I talk for an hour and you get 2 pieces of information, that is valuable, and you tell one person, it eventually all comes back to me anyways. So you have to go into it and say, I want to help these people, make them smarter, make their jobs easier, make them look smarter, make them look good to their bosses. What type of things should I create, and how should I create them? Video is going to be the easiest, but tools, guys, like we have a client that has this book that they send out, and it's all about what they do in metal fabrication, and how this book can help people design parts better, and also the processing of the fabrication of the products, tips and tricks and things like that. So you first have to understand the value. Number two, the best way to do it is to go live, because you can engage, you're going to get more engagement with your audience if you go live, put yourself out there. The reason why this works is because if you look at your space of whatever it is that you do, if nobody else is going live, then you've got first movers advantage. Even if there are people going live, they're most likely not doing it consistently or frequently enough to get like a buzz around them. Now, in my space, there's so many people that are like, we're going live, we're going to do these interview shows, we're going to talk about this X, Y, and Z. Tons of people are doing it. I'm just doing it for industrial manufacturing. That's what separates me. And even people in the space that are doing similar things to me, that have a podcast or a private group or whatever, they're not doing it at the volume that we do it, or the length that we've been doing it, like 90, 100 events live. We've got the longevity there to be able to say, look at our library of stuff. Like, nobody's got more content than we produce about this subject, and it's all good content. So going live creates that dynamic environment where you can engage with people. The first time you go live, there's going to be nobody that shows up, maybe one person, or if they do show up, they're not going to comment, they're not going to engage. But it's all about the repetition and getting out there. So you can create content statically. Like if I recorded this and posted out there on YouTube, like we do with some of our videos, that's static content. Then you can get engagement from comments on it on YouTube, or comments if you post it on LinkedIn, natively uploading it into LinkedIn. You can get engagement that way. But the live format is where you talk about something, you ask a question, maybe one person engages. Some lives that we do, there's like one comment or one question, that's it. And other, we've got 130 people in there, and they're asking comments and questions, or leaving comments and asking questions back and forth for the entirety of the hour. So going live, put yourself out there. I would say that that's a good way to get the most amount of engagement. If you want to ease into it and build up your audience first, then just create video content, post it, so that way you have an audience built up. So when you do go live, you can actually hit it from the ground, like hit it in stride, and people are engaging right away. But it all comes back to that first point, to understand the value. What am I going to talk about? What are the top issues that your potential customers or target demographic deal with at a personal level, at a business level, at a financial level? What type of value can you provide? Then you're going to create a topic around that and say, I'm going to go live to talk about the 3 common mistakes we see new design engineers do when they first come out of college. So it's something where you're not looking at like the search volume behind it, you're looking at what can provide the most value. So it's value versus search. There may not be a lot of people that are searching that phrase, but if you feel like you can create content that's really going to help somebody, it's more of a value-based type of content. The third thing is going to be guest shows. That's the easiest one. If you're nervous, if you're like, hey, I'm creating content, but I want to hold myself accountable to a higher standard, or I want to bring more dynamic personalities into it, just create a guest show. Every week, I'm going to interview a top engineer at a industrial company, and I'm going to ask those engineers to share their story about things that they learned X, Y, and Z, or how they feel like they would handle this situation. Or I'm going to talk to ops people at large corporations that are doing a lot of manufacturing and say, what are the common things that you see, and what type of problems are you overcoming on a daily or weekly basis? If you reach out to pretty much anybody in the industrial space, say, hey, I've got this show that I'm doing, it's going to be live, are you open to doing it? Most people are going to say, yes, I'm good to go. So it's an easy way to get people to create content with you, is just say, I'm going to have a show and bring you in. It's going to be a live format. Schedule live on LinkedIn, schedule live on YouTube. That is how you're going to get the most amount of content. And then from there, you're taking their followers and their engagement and bringing it into your ecosystem. So you both collaborate together. You're doubling down on the amount of people, which is going to increase the engagement. So guest shows are great. We did one before. We've gotten away from it. We're going to start going back to it because there's tons of people that I want to have conversations with live like this. And that way you guys can have conversations with them as well and ask them specific questions. So we're going to start doing it again. Our content creation schedule has been so crazy because we're so busy growing with new customers, new industries, new verticals, trade shows. I'm part of associations, speaking at events, stuff like that. So we're going to go back to doing our show, which is called Talk Shop, where it's just good to have that different type of engagement, different type of face with it. So doing a live show, it could be anything. You have to think outside the box. You can just Google search live show topics or podcasts, best podcasts, things like that, and just like look at what they're doing and then change the application of it into what you're doing. So it could be something where you're interviewing experts, interviewing people at big companies in specific roles and functions, and then from there make it specific to your industry. Don't just say, well, Lewis Howes does it this way or this person does it that way, so I'm going to do it the same way. You have to apply it to your industry because industrial manufacturing is different. You don't want, this is not like some cookie cutter approach. Number 4, repurposing the content. You want to increase engagement, you have to push it out there harder. You have to make sure that people understand all of the content you're creating. This is not a moment in time approach. If I just do this live show and post nothing until next week, I'm going to get less engagement. So you record the content, record the show, record yourself, long form content, and you chop it up into small pieces so you're dripping it out over time before you post the next piece of long form content. That is how you're going to keep the engagement rolling. The more engagement that you're getting, views, like impressions, likes, comments, reposts, etc. on social is telling the LinkedIn algorithm that your content is good, so they will share it out to more people. It's a very simple approach of I have to post things regularly so that way people know about me and I'm increasing my brand awareness. And then as I post stuff, if you were to add up all of that engagement into a single post, then you have your engagement for the week or the month. But you have to repurpose this content because you don't want it to be forgotten about. Us doing 6 live shows a week on LinkedIn, or 6 live shows a week. Riley would kill me if I did 6 live shows a week.
5 days in the week.
Yeah, he's coming in on Saturday then. 6 live shows in a month. Then if we just post that and left it on LinkedIn, it's going to get buried. People aren't going to be able to find it. It's going to drop off of the algorithm. It's going to drop off of people's feeds. That's where YouTube's better because it stays there. So somebody can search and then that live show or that piece of content shows up. But it has to be repurposed. You take your long form piece, you chop it into smaller pieces, you share it out there, you tag the people to get their engagement, get their connections engagement. That's what it's all about. So if you want to increase your engagement, you have to repurpose your content. Start with the long form and then break it into small form from there. And the 5th one's going to be engage with the audience. So you have to engage with the audience. If I just post and never engage, then people are going to be less likely to engage. And you know how difficult it is to get my specific demographic of CEOs, ops people, engineers, sales and marketing people to engage on social? It's difficult because this industry, they're not about engagement. Like an engineer is not going to be like, ooh, you know what I want to do today? I want to go on LinkedIn and leave a comment on this person's post. It just doesn't happen. So I take it with a grain of salt. I'm not looking for 1,000 likes and 500 comments. I'm not even looking for 5 comments. I'm just looking for, did this piece of content provide value? Do I believe it does? Yes. Did it provide value in some way? Or does my content in general provide value? Am I getting positive reinforcement and feedback from people DMing me saying, Kyle, love your stuff, been following you for years, this worked, or really took what you said in this and I made this change and it worked like this. Get those all the time so that way I know that the content's providing value, so that way that fuels us to keep doing it, invest more resources, more time, etc. But if I'm not engaging back with people, if I just post and don't respond back, then they're going to be like, this is a one-sided relationship. And that can't be like that. You can't just go into it and say, what I want out of this is your attention and views and your engagement back to me. So that gets in front of more people and I can make more money. It has to be what I want is to provide you with value. That's going to require to get your attention and retain your attention for a little bit. If you engage with me, I will engage back with you. Or I will try and engage with you before you engage with me saying, hey, check out this thing, this video, check out this post. I think you'll get some value out of it. As people engage back and forth, if you don't do that, then the audience is just going to be like, this guy never engages back. I'm not even going to leave a comment. Then they stop leaving comments, and then that affects the algorithm. Then LinkedIn thinks that you're just spamming people, and it's not a good situation. So you want to create engaging content and engage back with them. Some things that you can do: ask questions. You can ask questions on your show, live show. You can ask questions in a poll on LinkedIn. You can ask questions in a short form video. Like, what are the 3 things that are causing you issues from going from this much growth to that much growth? And you can create content about it saying, these are 3 things that I think it could be, or in my experience, I've talked to these types of companies and these are their 3 things. And then here's how to overcome those things. All those pieces of content can be done differently. It doesn't all have to be in one 20-minute video. It could be short 1 to 2 minute videos for each one. Each point is a 2-minute video explaining why those 3 things are important, or how you can help solve those things, or some things that people need to think about to help relieve those issues that they're having. But it's all about engagement. You have to listen to your audience. If they ask for something, if they ask for a piece of content to be created, put it into your notes and say, I'm going to shoot this video for this person because they asked it. You're building up somewhat of a following. You're building up people that are like adhering to your brand. I don't want to say adhering to your brand. They're like fanning over your brand or what content you create because they're getting value out of it, either education or entertainment. The only way for them to do that is for you to know their pain points and provide them with that. And then as they like, comment, etc., you engage back with them. Years ago, every single like, when I first started doing this, like probably 6-7 years ago at scale, every single like that I would get on a social post, I'd go and click on that person, send them a message. Hey, thanks for liking my post. Thanks for commenting on my video. Anybody that comments in it, thanks for the comment. I appreciate you. Let me comment back. But every single like I used to do, when I was only getting 2, 3, 4 likes, I would comment to those people, I appreciate you liking it. What ended up happening was there was a couple of those people that then liked every single post I did for multiple years. And those people became like part of my inner circle of content creation, to where I'm like, hey, check this out. Hey, thought of you on this. Or I'm using their situation as examples. This person DM'd me and they had this issue. I think this issue is common in this industry. So I'm going to talk for 30 minutes specifically about this issue to help this person out. And I hope that I help somebody else out at the same time. So that's what it's about, is engaging with the audience to build this community, because that's what it's all about. Listening to what they have to say, not the criticism. If people are like, dude, your videos are too loud, your background music's too loud. One person like was spamming me for 2 months, every single video saying, I hate your voice, I hate the way you look. And I'm like, dude, that's insane. Stop watching my videos then. So you don't want to go into that realm with it, but it's all about creating this community of people that like what you do, support you, you support them back, and it is a win-win situation. I know that's short and to the point, but some of you guys like that. So I wanted to hit you with those 5 things about increasing content, engagement for industrial. Those are the first 5 tips. We're going to take a short break, come back and see if there's any comments, see if anybody's live on the show, ask me questions. We'll be right back.
At Hydraulitics, we developed our products based on experience. We have been in the hydraulic business for 20 years, and we know what is beneficial at the field. Since we started our export program in Canada, we have been approached by many companies to be our distributor in the United States and other parts of the world. And when we received a phone call from CRC, we did our research and we realized they are a very good match to be our partner in the biggest market that we call it United States.
We were initially interested in Hydraulitex because the Hydraulitex product line perfectly complements what we're currently doing at CRC Distribution. CRC Distribution has a great product offering right now. Adding Hydraulitex to what we are currently offering makes us the largest distributor of this type of equipment in the market today. We work with all the people at Hydraulitex to bring the best products possible to the market in the most complete package.
Hydraulitex offer the complete package of component and equipment for hydraulic shop, including hydraulic cylinder bench, nut buster, automated honing machine, automated rod polisher, test unit for hydraulic cylinders, and test units for hydraulic pumps and motors. And when it comes to hydraulic shops, reliability is a very huge factor, because they're going to rely on a piece of equipment that can last for a long time to be able to take advantage of this machine in the long term.
Our competitors in the marketplace cannot bring to the market all the different products that are available from CRC distribution, including Hydraulitek's products, our rod, our tube, and all of our seals. We work with Hydraulitek to make sure that we're bringing the finest products to the market today to both our existing customer base and future customers. We're proud to hear from our customers about the real-world impact of our products. Together with Hydraulitek, we're making a significant difference in operational efficiencies across the industry. Our partnership with Hydraulitek isn't just about distribution, it's about powering innovation and setting new benchmarks in the hydraulic industry.
All right, we're back. Hopefully you guys like that video that we produced for CRC distribution. I thought it was pretty dope. All right, Riley, we got any questions, comments, concerns, or can I get back to my plethora of things I have to do today?
We got a few questions. We have a question from Tim Drinkwater, and he asks, is there a way
Tim Drinkwater's in the house.
Is there a way to allow another person to post on my LinkedIn personal account, even with two-factor authentication?
Yeah, dude. There's a way. Give them your login information. Like at this company, do you know how many people have my login information to my LinkedIn account? Everybody's always in there doing things, looking at things, looking at people, looking at my connections, seeing who they need to connect with. So yeah, even with 2FA, once somebody logs into your account, whether it's through desktop or through mobile, then they only do 2FA one time, then they're locked in. Now, if you change your password or if they get kicked out or remove their cookies or etc., then they won't be able to do it. But yeah, in your situation, if you're looking for people to either engage on behalf of you or do things, do posts for you or things like that, then yes, they can log into your LinkedIn. If you're looking at it from a posting schedule, like scheduling post standpoint, once you connect your profile to that scheduling platform, whether it's Hootsuite, HubSpot, anything like that, once you authenticate it one time, then you can post from a centralized platform. And you would only have to, I think, redo the authentication every 90 days. But yeah, just give them your login information and they can do whatever they need to do.
All right, and then we have a question from Luke Hooten, and he asks, is there a lead generation company that does shorter-term memberships? I reached out to ZoomInfo after one of your episodes, but I can't get that budget.
Yeah. That Zoom in budget is lofty, dude. Like I think we spend this year probably north of, I don't even know, $40,000-$50,000 on our ZoomInfo license. So number one, don't call them lead generation companies because that's not what they're doing. They're like data sourcing companies. So if you're looking to ball on a budget and you can't afford the loftiness of ZoomInfo, the system that has the cleanest, most accurate data compared to ZoomInfo would be Seamless AI. So it's seamless.ai. Now, they are going to lock you in for a 12-month subscription. But from a pricing standpoint, like you can be in a couple $100 a month range, maybe $200 for a license, to where you're looking at like, I think their starting point is maybe 4,000 over a year or 5,000 over a year. There's easier ways to do it. So you can use Seamless AI. If you want to get even tighter on a budget, Lusha, Lusha. Lusha is good. It's like $50 a month, but you only get 50 contacts with it. What's cool about Lusha is you get a little Chrome extension on the sidebar. So when you're in LinkedIn, you get this purple little figure. It's like a picture of a girl's hair that's on your sidebar. And when you click on somebody, you click into the Lusha thing and it pops out and you can see that person's information. And you click a button, you're like, I want to convert this contact into give me their phone number, email, etc. Lusha's good for $50. What's another one? Hunter.io is another good one for cheap. But ZoomInfo, cleanest data, but it's about bulk, right? And that's about connecting into your CRM system. So we have our Zoom license connected with HubSpot. We also have our Seamless AI license connected with HubSpot, but we're doing things at scale for us and for our clients. So for our clients, when we're building lists of 1,500 people a month to go after in the space. We're using those licenses because it's all about bulk and speed is king in that world. So we want to make sure that we can bulk export people and bring them into their CRM system and start marketing to them. But for you guys that are like, I'm balling on a budget over here, Lucia and things like that, if you just type in whatever Lucia's phrase is, so let's see if I could do it here live. So if I type in Lucia in a Google search, never miss a lead again, change the game with Lucia. So if I said like contact information database in Google. So ZoomInfo's #1 sponsor, so they're spending the most money on it. Monday.com is project management. Do not do that. But I would look at things like that. Like if you said, like if you type in ZoomInfo, they're going to also have ad competitors, unfortunately, even though it's technically illegal. So Lead IQ, Lucia, Zoom. Who else is in here? I know Hunter IO is on there, but places like that. I'd say that from my personal experience, Lucia was the cleanest and the best experience, but only 50 contacts per month. I would go with Lucia. We're not a partner with them either.
And Clint Kuykendall also recommends Lucia. He says, I went from ZoomInfo to Lucia. Doesn't seem as accurate, but it's way cheaper.
Yeah, Lucia, again, so what you're paying for is accuracy. So ZoomInfo has been around for almost a decade. I've been using them since back when you used to have a plug-in into Microsoft Outlook, and what it was doing was every month you get like 25 people to unlock, but the whole time it's got this plug-in and it's reading the signature of emails that you send. So you send out to Joe at ABC Company, they respond back and it has their signature in their email. ZoomInfo is reading that, storing it into a database. They have, I think, the biggest and best database. The people to avoid in that space are like Duns and Bradstreet with their Hoovers. Their information is so outdated. So ZoomInfo, let's say, for argument's sake, they are the OG, the king of the space. Then you get Seamless AI that also uses ZoomInfo stuff, a little bit cheaper. Then you get down to something that's around $150 a month, $100 a month. When you get into Lucia, they're using their own systems plus using stuff that they pulled from ZoomInfo, but it's not going to be the most accurate or up to date because they don't have a team cleaning it. If you look at ZoomInfo's structure, they probably have like 500 people that all their job is to bring in clean data or clean the existing databases that they have. Physical people. Seamless AI uses AI technology to try and do that. Not super accurate, pretty close, but not the best. Lucia is less than that. But like I said, $50 a month. The phone number may not be right. The email could be right. You can also find other people at that company to figure out, are they doing first name dot last name at domain? Are they doing first initial last name? What's the structure of it to be able to find other people? But I like that it's got that extension that works great with LinkedIn.
And we may wait for a second to see if there's any other comments, but no questions so far.
So it's time for me to fill the space with talking about stuff that hopefully you guys get. I mean, I hope that you guys got some value out of this. All you guys need to be creating content. I did not used to do this. I've been doing it now for 7-8 years. Haven't gone back. We do it at scale. I've got a team. It's just like I was at the district leadership conference for the Precision Metal Forming Association last week for 3 days in Cleveland, Ohio. Shout out to the PMA. And I gave a speech about using LinkedIn. It's about consistency, and you can't always do like I don't try and make it easy. We're like, oh, all you do is make videos. I was there when you guys were there and did not have a team. It's easier for me to say it because we have over 25 people as part of this team to where we have social and copy and video, and we got all the equipment and all the services that we offer for clients. We're just doing for ourselves, so it's easy. But even still, if I tore this whole thing down, did not have anybody creating content. I originally was doing my live broadcast from a DSLR camera hooked up to an HDMI cable into my computer, and I was doing the lives myself, answering the questions, answering the comments, etc., running the whole thing myself. There was a point in time when I did that to get started. Once I saw this is working, let me hire a team around me, let me set a schedule, etc., and now we've gotten into a pretty robust system. But back when I used to do it myself, I would just shoot videos with my phone and record that. There was a point I met Andrew Hartline from Ensign at NPE, and he said that he's been following my videos since I used to do them in the car. So we're talking 7 years ago. I would set up the camera in the car. on a tripod in my cup holder and balance it, and I would talk while I was driving and try and create content that way, and then send it to somebody to edit it once I got too busy to edit it myself. But that's like the progression of content. But these days with an iPhone, you can just shoot it all yourself. You can edit it on your iPhone, and now you've got content. So there's no excuse on why you should not be creating content. The only excuse is whatever you're trying to convince yourself between your ears. Is that it? Riley gives me the thumbs up. That means that it's time for me to close this out, guys. Hopefully you got value out of this. If you're not already subscribed on YouTube, head over to YouTube, hit the subscription bell. No, hit subscribe, turn on notifications. If you're on YouTube and not following me on LinkedIn, head over to LinkedIn and give me that follow button. We're posting multiple times a day, as much value and content as we can, and we will see you on the next one.